Hello one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass and welcome to episode 2 of Driveway Goals. Today I've come just outside LA to meet up with David, who has a collection that is likely to make me react like a 13-year-old girl at a Justin Bieber concert. Hey, hello, how are you, Sam? Hi, I'm David Lee. I'm a car collector in Los Angeles, and my emphasis in my collection is in a few folds. One is classic Ferraris, one is the supercar of the Ferraris, and then the modern Ferraris. I also have some other brands like Porsche and Rolls-Royce and Pagani, but you know, in general, mostly Ferraris. So maybe we'll start kind of closest. So this is a 1964 250 Lusso competition only. The Lusso, meaning luxury for the car, is the last model of the 250 series. It wasn't meant to be a race car, but like anything, people always wanted to race it. So there was like approximately 4 that they made with competition, you know, parts where they had the 250 GTO engine, which is 50 horsepower more, with the competition radiator to make sure it doesn't heat up. Then the suspension and the exhaust that is competition, the seats, the roll bar and the wheels, all competition made for racing and light and so forth. 6-carb setup, dual Weber, velocity setup here. So that's the Lusso competition. Here we have the 550 Barchetta. I love this silver color. It was a limited series, 448. It's just a great car, front engine V12, and having that old 2B exhaust sound that you don't get that anymore nowadays, less and less, but just a naturally aspirated. It's just a great GT car to drive. Talk about convertibles, then we have my 1967 330 GTS. You know, they only made 99 of these originally. Of course, good ones are, the numbers then go down, but this is a 100-point, fully restored one. Love the black colors. Somehow, classic cars, I think the black, it just looks so elegant, so classic. Really great driving car. I had a 275 GTS, which that was the first car that I bought about 4 years ago to kind of get me into this craziness of collecting. But then I upgraded to the 330 GTS, which was the next series up. The FF here is one of my daily drivers, right? It's also a great car. Front engine V12, it seats 4, it's 4-wheel drive, and so this is a great practical car. Then you have the 1958 356 Speedster. It's black color, it's originally black too, so that's very rare because I didn't have a lot of originally black, but it's fully restored. You know, all my cars are chassis and the engines are matching and the original. That's kind of what I go for. So this one is quite a nice one, quite a classic one that a lot of people like. And we move to this the new 911 RS, which a lot of people are really excited about. It's the GT3 RS car that is even lighter than that car. Manual 6-speed shifting, retro seats with the houndstooth interior. You know, all the dampers and the insulation was taken out, so you can hear all the sounds of the car. Now, me being an older guy, I used to own 911s. I had the 993 turbo and the others. You know, I'm used to the stick shift, and I'm used to the sounds because they didn't have insulation or whatever in the way it drove. And really, this car is almost for clients like us because it makes us remember the old days of how it used to be. The very special car, of course, 360 Challenge the Dolly, right? A race car. Seemed to be a lot of people's favorite. And it's a mean racing car on the road. So this is a great car, as you know. Here we have the Rolls-Royce Phantom, 2005 when I bought it for my dad. And there was a lot of stories on that, on Forbes and stuff like that, but it was one that he always talked about, never wanted to buy, so one day I said, I'm going to buy it for him and give it to him. And in 2005 was when they first came out with this Phantom model. So he was obviously therefore very happy. You know, he's passed away 5 years ago, so of course we kept this just as a memory and a legacy of him, and you know, we won't sell it. But then later on you'll see the Dawn that I ordered, the Rolls-Royce Dawn, that kind of is the matching car to this, the father and son situation. Then we have the Huayra here, Pagani Huayra, a very beautiful, you know, blue carbon Huayra. And being that I've been in the Pagani family, because they only make 100 of these, it's a tight network. And you get to communicate with Horatio Pagani, which I have been. We've actually met not long ago, but suddenly we were talking very often. And he's just a great guy. He's such an artist. He's a great guy. So I so appreciate his product and products that he plans to come out with. And so Pagani is one of those special ones that I really appreciate. Then here is some of the new production car, the 488 Spider, which is, you know, it's a V8 twin turbo. Already it's, he cannot believe it. I have a Speciale Aperta as well. It's not here today, but it's amazing that the production 488 mid-engine V8, of course twin turbo, can be faster than the Speciale Aperta. The 288 GTO is being in the repair shop, so it's not here, but collecting the supercars is obviously what I think I'm more known for, being probably one of the first to do that in the US. But here we have the F40, as we know is the 40-year anniversary of Ferrari when they made this. And it was the last car that Enzo Ferrari had their personal instruction and touch and to make. And he wanted to make a car that was the best road car in the world. Then we have the F50. Of course, it represents the 50-year anniversary of Ferrari. I think this car did not get a lot of appreciation and respect from the critics as it should get. And I was just talking to Giacomo, the owner of Ferrari Beverly Hills, recently, just before this, and we were both commenting, yes, it didn't get all the respect from a lot of the critics, but I said it's probably because it was the critics were not the F50 owners. From an owner perspective, every owner that I talk to loved this car. I think it's so much fun. I think it's such a great driving machine. The Roadster and the F1 engine that's mounted on the chassis. It's an all carbon fiber car, and you can see the carbon fiber weave in the paint that they lightly put on the body. But just to drive in the way the gearbox is and shifting, it's such a fun car. Right here in between, as kind of the hallmark of the collection, the F202, which is the F1 car, the Formula One car that the Schumacher was racing at that time and won, and Ferrari. So that's an important year, important car. So here the factory offered me a F1 car here that I'm able to be the steward of and very proudly own. Here we have the Enzo, which is other name is the F60, the 60th anniversary, named after the founder, being that it's the ultimate in performance at the time, all carbon fiber, and when they first using the Michael Schumacher F1 technology to pedal shift. It's a fantastic car. It has nothing, no real luxury, only you get air conditioner. It has no radio or any of the fancy stuff. Just the car and the engine. And you wouldn't think that anything could be better than the Enzo until then the LaFerrari came out. Now the LaFerrari is the newest technology of hypercar for Ferrari. It's a hybrid car where that means it's got a V12 engine with the electric engine working together to get 950 horsepower. It's all carbon fiber. This car, it's amazing. I've taken it up to Monterey. I've taken it to Simona Raceway. And what I think what the car company tries to do is to let you go on a track and drive better than you really can drive. All the computers and all the thing, it just makes you a better driver. And that's what that's about. And this car made me really feel like a really great driver, which you have fun, and then you have fun. And then we're back in this center is the Dawn, the Rolls-Royce Dawn. That's the, of course, front engine and 4 seats, convertible car. So I think that, I think that's what we got so far here today. Other cars are in my other garages and in repair shops. Cars always going in and out, and that's just how it goes. But certainly, it's always a grin when I come down to the garage in my stable. That's what I call it, and with friends and guests to show my babies here.
Now, to say that this garage is like my wet dream would be an understatement. A huge thanks to David for allowing me to come down here and film. This is only episode 2 in Driveway Goals, and as I explained in episode 1, each episode will be different: collectors, owners, dealers, etc. We're not going to be going for a drive today just because of various other commitments that David's got, but we're hoping to link up again before I leave to drive out in something. So what I wanted to do is kind of walk around now. Obviously, David's very gratefully given us a tour, talking us through each car, but share some of my thoughts and reactions, because any long-term or even short-term viewers of my channel will know my obsession with Ferraris is more than my obsession with boobs. It is literally a dream come true for me to be standing in a room with so many incredible, historic, beautiful cars. And there are other cars here that aren't just Ferraris, but we'll skip past them for now and head straight to this Challenge Stradale. Ugh. I mean, I don't know what it is about this trip, but I feel like they're following me around and haunting me, these Stradales. This is literally the cleanest, perfect spec, red with the white stripe. It just looks so gorgeous. And funny that David said that a lot of people come in here and this is their favorite car. I thought I was one of the few that championed this car so much, but apparently lots of people are loving this car, which is great to hear. We're going to come back to this ridiculous lineup of F40, F50, Enzo and LAF, but I just wanted to quickly pick up on the Huayra, because it's not every day that you see a Huayra, and obviously a very unique spec on this. Some of you may recognize this car from social media. It is very cool to get up close and personal with any Huayra, but this one is beautiful. The blue carbon, all the lines obviously inspired by the tricolore and the gold wheels. It just looks awesome, and for me, I only really appreciate Huayras over Zondas when you get up close. I think when you get close to it's a mouthful, get close to a Huayra, then they are personally on a level as a Zonda, because usually I put Zondas above them. Very cool to see the 911R. I think that may be the first personally owned 911R that I've seen. Everyone knows I'm obsessed with the 488 Spider, yellow. I'm a big fan of yellow at the minute, so stay tuned on that. F50. I mean, again, F40s for some reason you seem to see everywhere these days. I'm on, collectible Ferraris. I don't know why, but especially in the UK, every car event seems to have an F40 these days, but F50s you do not see. So that is pretty damn cool. It's got a bloody F1 car engine. I know Mercedes are building something at the minute which they're claiming is going to have the current F1 car engine, but correct me if I'm wrong, is this the last car to have an actual real F1 engine in it? Anyway, who knows. One thing which I just noticed, which particularly unique, which I hadn't seen before on an F50, is the rear view mirror. I don't know if you can see, it's like a really funny kind of shell shape. So that's definitely not something I'd pick up on. And again, it's one of the most amazing things about getting up close and personal with cars like this, is you notice things you never knew before. I'm a massive Formula 1 obsessive and a Schumacher mega fan and a Ferrari mega fan. So that right there, sex. So very cool to have an F1 car just chilling. Enzo, my childhood hypercar when I was growing up, and then it's just topped by LAF. So even though today we're not going for a drive or anything, this is good enough. I am so happy to just come down and spend time looking at these cars, getting up close and personal, but obviously also hearing from their owner, because it's so interesting. You see these cars at mysterious meets or in magazines or on YouTube, and you never really know what it's like to be an owner or why these people buy these cars. So it's always really fascinating, and I think me and David share an obsession with the prancing horse. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As I say, slightly different to the last episode, but I'm still ecstatic to be able to explore and check out these various collections in LA and hopefully in the future all around the world. Give the video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Make sure to check out David on Instagram and on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe for plenty more videos to come.